We made it to Greenwood Memorial Park here in Renton, Washington to visit the man who inspired me to pick up the guitar at 10 years old, Mr. James Marshall Hendrix. Let's go see if we can find him. Now the idea for this video started way back in 1992 when I was still in high school and saw the movie Singles for the first time. A movie about the Seattle music and dating scene. And there's actually a scene in the movie where Matt Dillon, who plays Cliff from the grunge band Citizen Dick, comes right here to Jimi Hendrix's original grave and strums the chord to Hey Joe. You want to find this original Sun Dial here, and there'll be a little green box over here, and then this open area right here is where Hendrix was originally laid to rest. Even back then I was thinking, you can actually go visit Jimi Hendrix's grave. And we finally made it. It only took us 30 years to get here. So like I said, there's that green box, there's the sundial, there's two graves, and then this open spot right here is where Hendrix was originally buried. And in the movie Singles, that's where Matt Dillon was laying on his headstone playing the chords to Hey Joe. So I figured, as a tribute to Jimmy, we would sit down right here in his original burial spot and strum a few chords of Hey Joe ourselves. Let's do it. All right, here we go. We're gonna play the Hey Joe chords that Matt Dillon played as Cliff in the 1992 movie Singles. He did it right here at Jimi Hendrix's original gravesite. So as a tribute to Jimmy, we're gonna play Hey Joe right here too. Checking out this beautiful bell tower over here. It's a columbarium, because before I show you the incredible memorial where Jimi Hendrix is buried now, I want to find Lucille Hendrix, Jimmy's mother, who's laid to rest somewhere over here in this area. And sadly, since her death back in 1958, her plot was actually left unmarked for many years. But fortunately, back in 2006, someone finally stepped in and donated an incredible brand new headstone to give her the final resting place that she deserves. And here's her grave, right here. Born Lucille Jeter on October 12th, 1925 in Seattle, Washington. And she died on February 2nd, 1958, also in Seattle, Washington, from cirrhosis of the liver. She was only 32 years old. Of course, at one time known as Lucille Hendrix, Jimmy's parents would divorce and she remarried. So unfortunately, she's not buried in the new Hendrix Memorial. And I believe the name Mitchell was the last name she took of her last husband before she passed. There's actually a very famous picture of Lucille holding Jimmy as a baby. Her epitaph reads, "Forever in our hearts." All right, I figured as a tribute to Jimmy's beautiful mother here, we would play one of Jimmy's most beautiful guitar intros that I've ever heard. Let's see if you can guess this one. I even had the crows of Washington in the background backing me up. Rest in peace, Lucille Hendrix. So where is Jimmy buried now? Somewhere around the millennium, Jimmy's father, Al Hendrix, wanted to create a more fitting memorial. And in 2002, the Jimi Hendrix Memorial was completed. They moved Jimmy's remains from his original grave that I showed you earlier and reburied him right over here beneath this amazing marble gazebo that you see in front of you. Look at this sunset that Jimmy gave us for our visit. There's a bed of purple flowers over here, along with this purple haze entrance that leads up to the memorial, complete with a Stratocaster guitar sculpture that he played and strung upside down because he was left-handed. And here's his grave, right here. James Marshall Hendrix, who was actually born Johnny Allen Hendrix on November 27th, 1942, here in the suburbs of Seattle, Washington. And he died on September 18th, 1970 in London, England, from a barbiturates overdose. He was only 27 years old. And for all you up-and-coming musicians out there, Jimi Hendrix was a poet, a songwriter, and easily the greatest influential guitar player to walk this earth. He played the guitar with his teeth, behind his back, one-handed, and used feedback on purpose. And probably two of his most iconic performances was when he set his guitar on fire live at the Monterey Pop Festival, and the other as the final performer at Woodstock, where he reinvented our national anthem through his Marshall speakers. This is a really special inscription over here, the story of life. These are said to be the last words that Hendrix ever wrote on the night that he died. It says, "The story of life is quicker than the wink of an eye. The story of love is hello and goodbye, until we meet again." And that's what I always say at the end of my videos. And down here on the bench, we got the handwritten lyrics to his incredible song, Angel. It says, "Angel came down from heaven yesterday. She stayed just long enough to rescue me." It feels weird saying it and not singing it in the correct context. We've got the word straight ahead inscribed over here from the last album Hendrix was working on before he died. He actually went to New York and set up his very own studio right before he died called Electric Lady, where he was working on songs for his new album, including this one, Straight Ahead. It says, straight ahead, woman and child, man and wife, the best love to have is love of life. Pass it on. And down here is the handwritten lyrics to one of my favorite songs, Voodoo Child. Well, I'm standing next to a mountain, I chop it down with the edge of my hand. Love it. And fun fact, when wrestler Hulk Hogan became the bad guy Hollywood Hogan, Voodoo Child was his theme music. And over here, look at all the kisses people leave for Jimi on this pillar. Appropriately celebrating A Message to Love, which was a track from his Band of Gypsies album. It says, message to love, everybody come alive, everybody love alive, everybody hear my message. And down here are the handwritten lyrics to the song we played for Jimmy's mother earlier, Little Wing. Well, she's walking through the clouds with a circus mind that's running wild. Butterflies and zebras and moonbeams and fairy tales. Alright, moving on. Let's check out the outside of this memorial. You got Jimi Hendrix's signature at the base of this incredible gazebo. And Jimi was born right here in Seattle, Washington. But it's been well documented that Hendrix wanted to be buried in London. But Jimmy's father said, I don't think so, and had this elaborate tomb built for him and his son. It's a stone gazebo with 3 entrances and 3 pillars, each one etched with portraits of Hendrix and inscribed with his lyrics and poems, which we saw earlier. And on the back of this monument, you have this incredible engraving. It says James Marshall Jimi Hendrix, 1942 to 1970. And there's a big kiss on his forehead as well. And over here there's another sundial, just like the one at his original grave, which I believe symbolizes time and the passage of life, considering Hendrix died so young. And there's that guitar and the original headstone. They're the perfect centerpiece for the monument. Alright, it's almost getting dark, so let's play one more song and get out of here. One more tribute to the man here, Mr. Jimi Hendrix. Thanks for the inspiration to pick up a guitar. Here we go. See if you can name it. Rest in peace, Jimi Hendrix. Now, like I do with all the famous graves that I go to, especially for Jimi, I want to leave a few mementos at his memorial. I figured we would leave this perfect Woodstock Jimi Hendrix right underneath his left-handed guitar. And I also have a few Hendrix picks, the Are You Experienced and Axis Bold as Love. And we'll put those right there underneath his left-handed guitar. Perfect. All right, that's gonna do it from here in Renton, Washington. Sorry it got dark on us, but at least we got to check out the amazing Jimi Hendrix Memorial. I just want to say, until we meet again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.